gonna show off a little.
That must have cost him.
I love harvesting runestones. What'd you get? What'd you get?
Just listen. My plan will work, I promise you. I don't belong on this island.
A raft, though? We'll be dashed against the rocks before we make it 100 yards. You're with me, right?
Do not pull this one into your arguments. He is confused.
My plan is just as plausible as yours. Why won't you just trust me on this?
Innocence means nothing. You couldn't make it off this island if you were Moloch himself. I'm not listening to this sun-addled fool, and neither should you. A raft? Puh. Does he think that hasn't been tried before? No. I love it here. I'm going to spend the rest of my life basking in the paradise that is Amanos. Of course I want off this inhospitable sandbar. I don't deserve this, and I don't deserve to suffer this fool. He thinks we can sail to freedom. Of course I disagree. I suggested that we just capture one of their ships, sneak aboard as guards or something, but no. Apparently that is stupid and would never work. So we should just build our own raft instead. That will work. I don't know if we'll ever agree, but I can't put my plan into action on my own. Of course, it's my luck that the only people who listen to me have wolf brains. Still, I'm not dying here. I will leave Amanos, even if I have to do it alone.
Nautilus suspects he'll never leave this island. Not with those two preparing the escape plan.
This bootless churl refuses to see reason. Kidnap House Mornard guards? Does she want us all to hang? I was unfairly exiled by others of my class. They stripped me of my wealth, my business, everything. I must return and exact my revenge. If only this oaf would get out of my way! We safely traversed the ocean on a seaworthy vessel on the way to Amanos. I see no reason why we can't leave via the same method. And better yet, it's safer than the foolhardy plan my companion is stubbornly arguing for. No, but that's why I invited the Khajiit on our venture. He was a sailor, I think. I might be confused on that front. I thought he'd weigh in on my side, but he's been almost silent. Still, I know I'm right. My plan is more feasible than hers.
Doing something with magic-y?
You there! I'm begging you. There was a shipwreck. The others need help. Our ship was attacked by coral, I think. It just grew out of the waves, and I don't know what happened to the other sentry, Veslin, or the sea elf prisoners we were transporting. I woke up alone on the beach. The sailors and other jailers call that place the Coral Cliffs. I won't survive the trip inside, but you're an adventurer. You're my only hope of getting the survivors out. Another House Menard ship expects us. Our prisoner exchange is overdue. I counted the footprints. Enough for each of the prisoners and Veslin. She's with them, mark my words. I just hope they're all right. Get Veslin and those ne'er-do-wells out of the Coral Cliffs. House Menard will see that you're compensated. The Coral Cliffs aren't an area anyone wants to be lost in. Strange noises thereabouts. Makes me shudder. You find my fellow sentry and those prisoners of ours. Get them out of there safely. I need to rest my hurts before we move on from here. North. House Menard has a larger ship waiting for them. We were tasked with taking the prisoners to the ship from Aminos Station. Their captain gave Gold and her word that she wouldn't attack Menard's ship in return for her crew's safe return. It sprouted from the waves like some curse from nature. Dozens of faces lost beneath the waves, prisoner and sentry alike. The lieutenant said the sea elves might act up, captain's bargain or no, but I have never seen one of them magic coral. This lot seemed congenial enough for pirates. Their captain paid well for their safe return, but taking a sea elf away from land? No, I can't believe they did this. Powerful sea elves make weather trouble. Not what we got. Not the coral. Piracy may be the work of scum, but it pays well. This lot was lucky to be caught. Most pirates go down with their ship. I suppose House Dufort felt charitable when their patrol ship captured this bunch. Our ship held 15 and 10 sentries to keep watch over him. I only saw 6 prisoners and Veslin flee the ship before it was too late. I was the last to make it off before it went under. No, not as such. Though there's one who's friendly with all the others. Kairisnia. She got along with everyone and even thanked me a few times for their upkeep. Didn't think anything of the chatter before. One of the Breton noble houses. They govern Aminos Station and the prison stockade. The whole island is technically under their jurisdiction, but no one cares about the jungle. Well, except for the mines. Technically, other than the town, the entire island is a prison. They do something to the worst of the prisoners. Call it processing. Once done, they set them loose in the jungle and let them fend for themselves. If they leave the jungle, they die. I'm a sentry on a prison transport. I like to work all right. Sure, some prisoners give you trouble, but they quiet down after a few hits. Nothing bad ever happened prior to the shipwreck. There's something sinister here. I know it.
Stay back! You're not one of those slimy druids. Who are you? I've got to get out of here. Why didn't I just drown in that shipwreck? They turned them into coral. I've got to get out of here. Why didn't I just drown in that shipwreck? They turned them into coral. Sunagil. Those Elder-Tide bastards turned him into this glow. Then they fed the glow to the coral. They said that the archipelago belongs to nature. That they were carving a balance between the natural world and greedy mortals. They brought us through the caves and up to the platforms above. Then they shoved us into cages. Veslin. She was whole when I escaped. I offered to help her, but she wouldn't leave the others and I had to run. I had to. I can't do anything. Not against the Elder-Tide Druid's power. But you can destroy their coral. The Elder-Tide sacrificed my shipmates to it. Those druids need to suffer. The coral is inside the caves, just down that hill. Make them pay. I'll give up piracy if you do as I ask. Smash the coral! Free the others, please! Right now? But... oh, all right. If knowing more about them will help you save the others, I guess I can stay in this place for a bit longer. They're the ones who should be locked up in the Amino stockade. They're not even supposed to be here. They corrupt nature. Even their magic does horrible things. It hurts, too. The way Sunagil screamed. Does there have to be a reason? Elder-Tide druids can corrupt other sea creatures, too. Urchins, sea stars, fish, crabs, that sort of thing. But the coral they corrupted here... it looks like the coral that wrecked the ship. They planned this. They changed the coral into something unnatural. It stinks of druid magic and... blood. It'll look different too, if there's light enough to see. I'm not going to let them turn me into that. I passed by one a little while back. Should be down that way. The other corals are probably inside the caves. We could still hear our shipmates' screams from the cages we were locked in. They're the ones who should be locked. Anyone still alive will be in the cages above. Destroy the coral. Make those druids pay.
This is gonna be fun!
big mistake. No one can stop
You
the
stopped them
Elder
just in
Tide.
time.
Over here, quickly. I don't know when they'll be back.
Thank the Eight you're not one of those druids. Hurry, get us out of here. The druids, they're using us to feed their coral. Screams. I don't want any more of us to suffer that pain. Please, please get this door open. Sergeant Brusick survived the wreck. The Sea Elves said he was as good as dead. They regretted leaving him there as soon as those druids locked us all up. The Sergeant and I take care of our prisoners. That would be Kyrysnia. She offered to pick the lock on this cage, but I couldn't leave these two. Seeing the druids when they killed Suni Gil and the others, it broke their spirits. Kyrysnia's many things, but she's not a liar. It's my job to guard the prisoners. I failed so many of them already. I'll not fail these two. If you open the door, I'm sure I'll be able to rally their spirits and get them out of here. Either pick yourselves off the ground or let me carry you. We're getting out of here. Sergeant Brusick's waiting.
Ha! Hero! If you had any interest in the sea, I would take you on in a heartbeat.
I don't rightly understand what happened, but Kyrysnia here says she kept us living. Something like that's worth a good and proper drink if you ask me.
I can't believe we made it out of there. Those druids were gonna come for me next. I'm sure of it.
You saved everyone. Look, I meant what I said in there. I'm done with piracy. Maybe I'll give working for Aminos a try. Those Mornard lugs are uptight, but they're good to their prisoners. Well, that was an experience I'll never forget, no matter how hard I try. Kyrysnia and Sergeant Brusick told me what happened from the beginning. If you ever need anything, House Mornard owes you.
Veslin told me what happened. Is it true that a few of those druids were enough to cause our shipwreck? All those lives lost at sea. How much harm can they do? How many more ambushes do they have planned? Makes a person reconsider their work. Oh, it does my aches good to hear that. We'll let House Mornard know what happened here. Spare others some pain. If Veslin says you convinced at least one of them to give up piracy, you hauled more than was asked of you. Take this, with my thanks. House Mornard will hear about what happened here. The good and bad both. Druids turning the living into coral fodder. A fight between mortal life and nature? There's something strange happening here. But it's beyond my comprehension. While you were helping my prisoners, I got my bearings out here. We're not that far from Broke Rock Mine. I've made the run there a time or two in the past. We can make it there and get the assistance we need to make it back to Aminos Station. Like I said, it's not too far. I've recovered my strength, Veslin is none the worse for wear, and my prisoners will help us defend ourselves. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. What happened here was out of our control. We'll make a report and get another ship to take the prisoners where they need to go. Mornard will see to the druids here. It might take some time, but the danger they pose won't be ignored. She'll be angry, of that you can be certain. But the prisoners will tell her what happened. I suspect Kyrysnia will lead that charge. Not sure. Usually, if we avoid them, the Elder Tide druids leave us alone. This was out of the ordinary. House Mornard will need to do something, but I don't know what. I'm just a sergeant, but I'll do what I can to put a stop to this.
Kyrysnia and the Sea Elves are as good as their word. After everything we went through, I believe that to my bones. Thank you for getting us out of there. I think I speak for all of us when I say we didn't want to die like that.
It's not in my nature to give up my own freedom, and I'm not. Piracy isn't the only life out here. Veslin and her captain won't see trouble from us, and we'll fight by their side. We swear it, on the constancy of the tides.
Those druids better be pleased they met us on land. Once the captain takes us out to sea proper, any druid I spot is gonna feel the swell of my anger. Believe you me, no coral magic's getting in the way of my revenge.
I'm glad our captain is paying for our release. I want no more part of this island.
Magister Irin never let me watch him do this. It's so interesting. watching the big tough ones fall. Watching you harvest is exciting. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that. Woohoo!
A stone structure. The key must be in there. Oh, what does that plaque say? Plinths. Must be these low pedestals over here. There's a shawl on one already, so we just need to find a sacred leaf and the traitor's coal. One more key and the daybreak gem will be ours. We're so close. It's remarkable. The legend of the Sister's Sister.
Ooh, shiny. Keep that close to you. A pickpocket will make a killing off something like that.
Well, that's a leaf and a chunk of coal. Start with the leaf. Place it on the plinth closest to the center of the island. One more key and the daybreak gem will be ours. We're so close. Ah, I guess they mean the other center. Try placing the leaf on the other plinth. That seems right. Now, place the coal. That did it. The door appears clear. Well done. Now we have all 3 keys. Let's return to the vault and see if we can open it. That's it, my friend. We have all 3 keys. Now to go and open the vault.
What is she thinking? No one gets off this island. Did you see that ridiculous Breton running around collecting trash? Called herself Luna Jolvain. She's building a raft to take her to Whalefall. In all my years as a prisoner on Amanos, I've never seen someone get away. She'll get torn apart. Her partner, Anton, was selected for that game one of the jailers plays. He hunts prisoners for sport on that island. She doesn't think he'll last. I've heard the prize for survival is your freedom, so maybe she just doesn't want to be alone. I guess those two aren't the fighting type. Luna said they ended up here for swindling. If you want a laugh, look for her on the western coast. Maybe she's built her trash raft by now. She might even offer you something to help her. So, you plan to help the Breton, eh? Saving that Anton of hers will be tough. Make sure that any gold she gives you is real. Can't trust a swindler. Oh, and if you see her, say hello for me. And good luck crossing that water. So many years, yes. I know every tree and rock. I've seen every type of person arrive on Amanos, thinking they can outsmart it. And do you know what I've learned? There's no way off. They all died trying. Ugh, I'm so tired of telling that story. The first thing anyone asks on a prison island is always, how did I get here? I'm more than the crime I committed a lifetime ago. Anyway, I turned an entire Breton town into skeevers. Not a big deal. I said I'm tired of talking about it. Breton town, I show up, skeevers, then Amanos. That's all you really need to know. Back when I arrived, the Amanos jailers used it as a training ground. It's a nice, isolated place to learn about subduing prisoners. Sometime after they processed me, I was banished to the jungle. Rumors started about a game on the island. I don't know much to tell. No one I've ever met has ever come back to talk about it. Prisoners get recruited from Amino Station with the promised reward of freedom. If you survive their hunt, you win. Survive for how long, though, they don't say. Other than her delusions of escape. She must be new. I've never seen her before now. And I make it my business to know everyone in the Aminos jungle. She's a swindler, someone good at tricking people into giving away gold. Be careful with her.
You're brave, reaching in there like that.
Address your kills quickly if you take them down by the waters. The Ornogs like to sneak them away if you leave them unattended. Or so the locals tell me.
Good eye. I didn't even see that runestone at first.
Anton, you better be alive to make these splinters worth it. If you came to judge my raft too, I don't want to hear it. I only need to get to Whalefall and back. I know the waters are dangerous, but my partner Anton got selected for the game there. He's not the type who can survive it. Just the rumors I've heard in the stockade. No one knows which jailer runs the game. If he chooses you, then it's off to Whalefall. You get set loose, and he hunts you down. Apparently he promises freedom if you survive, but I doubt that. The two of us work together to convince people to give us their gold. We're not really the fighting types. I can't see Anton lasting too long alone against hunters. How about you come with me? I need an escort, and I'll give you the coin I have. So, here's my plan. We ride the raft over to Whalefall, find Anton, then leave. Now that I've said that out loud, I see it's not much of a plan, but it's what I got. I'd like to get a move on, though. My partner is clever, but not especially tough. It's that small island to the west of here. Not sure where the name comes from. I imagine something to do with whales. Jailers play a game there with prisoners from the stockade.
They let you loose, and then send hunters after you. So they told us, but I've spent my entire life around criminals, thugs, and related scum, and never once have I met someone who said they got set free from Whalefall. You'd think I'd have run into someone if it were true. I love the man like a brother, but Anton can sometimes act flashier than he should. He likes to show off his sleight of hand skills. After we got thrown in the stockade, Anton decided to make friends with a jailer. Olivia was her name. Anton was playing her, of course. I don't even think he wanted something from her. Just a way to pass the time. But she actually fell for the old charmer. Once she saw the ruse, Anton's name ends up on the list for Whalefall. Slipping in and out of the stockade isn't that difficult, and they don't really seem to mind if the prisoners wander off into the jungle. As soon as the jailer dragged Anton away, I knew he wouldn't last. I left the stockade to go after him. Made it with my own 2 hands. Quite proud of it. I knew I'd never survive the swim, so I scavenged anything that floats. The tides around here tear everything to shreds, so I had plenty of debris to choose from. I just hope it holds together. Oh, like I said, he and I are the swindlers. A little distraction over here, and suddenly your purse is gone. Nothing too bad, you know? But it's not like anyone here on Amanos is the innocent type. Seems we marked the wrong target this time. Some noble in High Rock, Lord Featherbuns or whatever. They're all the same to me. We tried the old pig in a poke on him. Was going fine until his servant called for an appraiser. He was upset to hear the ancient magic orb was a painted goose egg. There was some hue and cry, then finally they caught us. Not the first time Anton and I got arrested, but I guess the Lord wanted to make an example. He shipped us to Amanos as a message. Don't mess with even the stupid nobles, it says. How about that? The raft worked. Let's move inland and look for Anton. I'm a little surprised no one's here defending the dock. Maybe they assume no one can come or go, so why bother? Makes it easy when they're arrogant. Keep a lookout as we head inland. We might run into the hunters playing the game. Only rumors. Some told me all the prisoners brought here have to fight each other. The jailers promise the last one standing will go free. But they bring people over all the time, so no one ever wins. I also heard a stranger story. I met a dark elf in the stockade who claimed to have once served a fancy Breton family. After I gave him half my bread, he told me that his master often mentioned going on hunting trips to Whalefall. Maybe the game at Whalefall isn't for the prisoners. Maybe it's for rich highborn monsters to hunt down desperate people. When you have enough gold, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Something's posted on that wooden pillar. At least the game has rules. Let's talk before going deeper. Now we have a name for the person in charge. Jailer Manic. I don't remember seeing him at Amanos Station. Sounds like he enjoys his work, though. I sure did. A couple names I even recognized. Wealthy merchants, both of them. Who would be a guest of a place like this? Well, voluntarily. Standing around in the open is no good. Where should we start looking for Anton? Yeah, I noticed that too. Let's head there. We can't just wander the island calling his name. At least this gives us a direction. Anton knows enough to hide, but I doubt he'd last long. Usually he's the one people notice while I lift their gold. Anton's on the run for his life. He may have left signs of where he went. As we search deeper within, we should look for anything that points in his direction. In the meantime, that winner's stage to the north seems like a good place to start. Nah, do you? Maybe he stays away from the Amino stockade on purpose. Only comes by to take more prisoners for his game. Wonder if he's even a jailer at all. No one would call the stockade a great place, but it's not so corrupt that the entire staff would do something like this. The jailers who took us to the island even warned me about it. I'm starting to think this Manic keeps the whole thing secret. I should have asked before. You can handle yourself in a fight, yeah? I'm sure you can. Anton's on the run for his life. He may have left signs of where he went, as we search deeper within.
I have errors enough for the likes of you.
To the train!
Bet they weren't expecting that.
Anton isn't sentimental, but he respects tradition. He wouldn't leave his family pendant behind.
Killing you is almost too
Those
easy.
bones. Now we know why they call it whale fall. Anton has worn the same shirt since we came to Aminos. That's a scrap of it.
We're the best!
I see him! On that platform!
Another wretch wants to leave my game? We're all prisoners, in a way. Accept your fate. Ha, well done. Few make it this far, but I'll end this game myself.
It seems that my dear friend Luna brought me a savior, and I can see why. Someone that's as brave and strong as you makes the perfect choice. Those hunters might return at any moment. Please, kindly unbind me so we can flee. The natural result of my poor survival skills. Though I cannot imagine why you believe now is the proper moment for that story. Release the bindings, please. Once we're safe, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
That rascal Anton survived somehow. Barely. If we found him dead, I would have killed everyone on this island. Well, I would have paid you to do it. Let's get out of this horrid place and back onto the raft. I know I'm not a great person. I've lied, stolen, manipulated, cheated, harassed, and once committed arson. but I've never killed anyone, and I won't start today. Can you keep up, Anton?
I could outrace you with my legs tied together.
Oh, good. I was getting bored.
I see the shore. We're almost to the raft.
Where on Aminos did you possibly find a raft?